The climate crisis is already affecting communities, economies, and ecosystems, making it harder to plan our futures. Our decisions must consider the impacts of climate change, such as rising temperatures, shifting seasons, and extreme weather, like floods and droughts. Alongside urgently cutting greenhouse gas emissions, adapting to the impacts of climate change is an urgent imperative for protecting communities, ecosystems, and economies. But how do countries shift from short-term adaptation projects to a more strategic, longer-term approach responding to climate change? And how do we make climate risk a regular part of how we plan our futures? The National Adaptation Plan process is about putting climate change adaptation at the heart of decision-making. Led by national governments, with the support of non-governmental actors, it is a strategic process for countries to identify and address their medium and long-term priorities for building resilience to climate change. Through the NAP process, countries assess climate impacts, risks, and vulnerabilities to decide where adaptation efforts should be targeted, identify and prioritize adaptation actions, implement these actions, and track progress and learn how to improve adaptation action to make it more effective and inclusive. Importantly, the NAP process puts in place the systems, skills, and knowledge that are needed to make adaptation part of decision-making and budgeting. Adaptation will only be effective if it is equitable, and it puts people in situations of vulnerability at the center of efforts to manage climate risks. Inclusive, participatory NAP processes can address social and gender inequalities and will lead to a more effective adaptation. The NAP process was established in 2010 under the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. Today, almost all countries have a NAP process underway. As part of the NAP process, more and more countries are developing a National Adaptation Plan document that articulates their national priorities for adapting. Many countries that have contributed the least to climate change are amongst the most vulnerable to its impacts. Least developed countries and small island developing states are amongst the most in need of support for planning and implementing climate change adaptation. Communities and countries around the world are already adapting. The NAP process helps scale up action, track progress, and channel resources to the people and places that need them the most. Through effective, inclusive adaptation planning, we can build a climate-resilient future together.